The lights of Houston glimmered against the night sky, but behind the glow of faith and worship, a different story was unfolding. A story of control, manipulation, and wealth built on the backs of the vulnerable. This is the case of David Taylor and Michelle Brannon, religious leaders now accused of one of the most shocking money laundering and forced labor schemes in recent American history. Joshua Media Ministries, also known as the Kingdom of God Global Church, promised salvation, healing, and miracles. Followers were drawn in by Taylor's fiery sermons and Brannon's unwavering loyalty at his side. But behind the promises of blessings lay something darker. Donations poured in millions at first, then tens of millions. Soon the church was not just a sanctuary, but an empire. It was here the mask began to crack. Former members described call centers where vulnerable people worked day and night. They were told they were serving God, but in reality, they were fundraising machines. Phone lines rang endlessly, donations were demanded, and pressure never stopped. Food was scarce, sleep was denied, and threats ensured no one dared resist. The FBI would later call it forced labor hidden in plain sight. One by one, the voices of survivors emerged. Some spoke of being cut off from families. Others revealed how they lived in cramped quarters with barely enough to eat, and all of it justified in the name of obedience to their leaders. What looked like a church was in fact a system of control and exploitation. In early 2025, the FBI launched coordinated raids across Texas, Missouri, and Florida. Federal agents stormed church compounds, seizing documents, electronics, and records. The indictment revealed a stunning figure, nearly $50 million funneled through donations. But where did the money go? Luxury homes, expensive cars, recreational vehicles, all tied back to Taylor and Brannon. Court filings showed wire transfers, shell accounts, and laundering through church fronts. This was not just fraud, it was money laundering on a massive scale. And at the heart of it stood leaders who claimed to be God's messengers, now exposed as orchestrators of a criminal empire. News spread quickly across America. Believers felt betrayed. Communities felt deceived. How could a ministry that spoke of love and faith turn into a machine of abuse and greed? For many, the betrayal cut deep. This was not just a crime of money, it was a crime of trust. The Department of Justice charged David Taylor and Michelle Brannon with conspiracy to commit forced labor itself, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Each charge carried decades of possible prison time. Courtrooms filled with victims' families and reporters waiting to see justice served. Subscribe for more interesting true crime stories. The scandal sent shockwaves through the religious world. It raised questions about accountability in churches, about blind faith and unchecked power, and about how easily trust can be manipulated when cloaked in religion. Tonight, as the investigation continues, one truth remains. $50 million cannot buy redemption. And behind the sermons, behind the luxury, behind the fraud, stand victims still carrying scars of the past. This is not just a story of crime. It is a warning of how faith can be twisted and trust betrayed. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more true crime stories.